Ladies and gentlemen, today's interview is with Amena Hadaya, who fights out of the Freestyle Fight team. If you've been listening to all the interviews, we talked to head coach Joe Lopez a couple of weeks ago. You can find that on the Australian MMA podcast on YouTube or your favourite podcast app. One of his fighters, Amena Hadaya, she's 3-1. She just recently picked up a split decision victory, which is a little bit more unanimous decision over Mona Ftouhi at the UAE Warriors just 2 days ago. And she flew out and came back to Australia, and she's already back in Wollongong. Look, we chat about the fight. We chat about what's to come for Amina, and a very interesting chat with Amina because not only is she a female training in mixed martial arts, which is few and far between, she trains at Freestyle Fight Team, which is regarded as one of probably the best Australian MMA gyms that we have, and probably one of the best gyms in the world right now. It's got UFC featherweight champion Alex Volkanovski. He trains there. You got Justin Van Heerden, who Amina mentions. You've got Jarrett Wilbraham. You've got Colby Thickness, who's regarded as probably the best prospect in Australian MMA right now. And you got Craig Jones, who's top 5 jiu-jitsu guys in the world who trains there. Jamie Malaki's in the UFC, Josh Kulabau. All of these names, look, I don't have enough time to actually reset it in the interview about who they are, but if you hear a name, go Google it and you'll find out just how good these people are. We even talked to Amina about her Lebanese heritage, because that was on display at the UAE Warriors, and about where her upbringing in Australia and her family, who, if you don't know much about Lebanese culture, you might assume that they're not exactly behind their female daughter fighting. But it's a very, very interesting chat about just how much support she truly has from not just her family, but the gym itself, and also her fiance, Mitch Harmison, who I believe is now a 6-0 amateur, and just their dynamic of their relationship. It's a very interesting chat, whether you're into MMA or not. She really breaks down the process and what we can see next from her. And look, stick around. Like I said, if you're on the podcast, get it on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, also grab the podcast. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, Amena Hadaya. Very excited about this. Amena Hadaya, all the way from, is it Abu Dhabi?
Not now. I'm back home now. I arrived last night.
And how does it fight? How does it feel to fight on a show of that caliber? Because post-fight, you said it was the best promotion that you fought on, the most professional. Talk us through. Obviously, you fought on Hex and that, and they're great organizations. But what's the difference?
Just obviously I'm not going to be at home and stuff like that. So, and I'm not going to be in Australia. It's in Abu Dhabi, so there's a lot of travel involved and stuff like that. So, in terms of that, they do all our travel to and from the airport. All our food's included, so our breakfast, our lunches and dinner, our hotel rooms, everything's very close knit. In Abu Dhabi, you don't really spend too much time outside. So our weigh-ins were there, all our food was there, our medicals were all there, our training room was all there, everything was there and it was organised. Our media was there. So there was really no reason for us to leave the hotel. And they had heaps of staff there. All the staff were staying at the hotel. So anything we needed, they would just, a little phone call away, I would go down to the lobby and we'd ask them some questions, because they had set up their own little office there, which was specifically for UAE Warriors. Yeah, it was very accommodating. Don't get me wrong, Hex and Eternal and all that, they're great promotions to fight on, great for Australian MMA. But in terms of obviously the widest scene and the biggest scene, it was obviously nothing I've ever experienced. Just all the effort they go into with all the graphics and the pictures and the trophies, and just they in the media, even a press conference. I've never done a press conference before, and then they made me go up on the stage, and I was like, oh god, I don't know if I can do this. And I made friends with the guy sitting next to me, and I was trying to get him to calm me down. My foot was going like this. I was heaps nervous. Just everything. Obviously it's just a bigger promotion, and there's a lot more to do in terms of media and interviews and stuff like that. I had 6 interviews in one day. Wow. But yeah, it was a great promotion to fight on, and I'd love to do it again.
And how did it come about? Because obviously in the walkout, you've got your split heritage with Lebanon and Australia. Is it similar to like ONE FC where if you like with Danny Mini T Williams who fights MMA and Muay Thai for ONE FC, he's got a Thailand citizenship as well as Australian. That's what helps him get that fight in ONE FC. Is that a similar thing with UAE?
No, I just my background is Lebanese. I haven't got a Lebanese citizenship. I was born here, but it's just I think that is because obviously I could have got on the international card as well, but I think they probably needed someone of an Arab background to go on that fight card and fill in that fight, and I was more than happy to jump on. But yeah, I don't think I think because that card they only have Arabs on it. It clearly says it on there, which I didn't even know. But yeah, I think that just kind of came into play, and they were like, "Can you speak Arabic?" And I was like, "Oh, like I can understand it more than I can speak it. I can definitely swear in Arabic, but I once I got there, I actually started to speak it more than I would normally because everyone was just talking it, and I was like, "What's going on with me?" It's like when I was back in the village and my grandparents were talking to me, I was like, I can actually understand it and speak it because you don't do that here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is the family proud that you got to like represent Lebanon?
Yeah, yeah. Although they're more proud, like, even just Australia, like they're more proud to be called Australian, to be honest. But yeah, that was stoked, especially the Lebanese community's heaps behind me at the moment. And I didn't really think that obviously being a female fighter, being a female Muslim Lebanese fighter, it's very different. And then like having the Lebanese community behind me, and obviously my mum, you could hear her in the crowd yelling because she came for the trip. Like it's honestly been amazing to have that kind of support, which I didn't originally think I would have. But yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah, because I wanted to ask you a bit about that because especially a lot of Australians are kind of misunderstand the Lebanese culture in general, and you just said it right there that everyone is super supportive of not only your training, but yeah, they get behind you with your fights, and you're saying it's not just your parents, it's the whole community.
Yeah, it's the whole community. Like the Lebanese community here in Wollongong, like is very, very big. And obviously, I've got a lot of family. I'm one of 6 children. My mum's, one of five. Like we've got a lot of family, a lot of cousins and stuff like that, and everyone's been behind me. I've never had any kind of negative or been like, oh, girls shouldn't be doing that kind of thing. It's always been like, yeah, let's do it, do it for the girls kind of thing. It's always been have such a supportive group of people. Like I'll see cousins and I'm like, oh my God, you're doing so well. And I'm like, I didn't even know you were watching me. Like I didn't even know you were paying attention to my fights. Like I just see random cousins because we're everywhere. I just see random cousins and like, oh my God, like you're doing so well. I'm like, it shocks me that they're actually following what I'm doing, which I didn't think originally they were. So yeah, it's been amazing to have that.
What about the fact that you're not going to marry a Lebanese boy?
I'm engaged to an Aussie already.
he's a
And he's
great
a
fighter in
fighter
himself. Yeah, how's
Yes,
it? Do
he is.
parents like that or?
My mum, yeah. My mum's like at the start, obviously, he's covered in tattoos and whatnot, and it was kind of like a rude shock. But after that, she loves him. He's the best. He's the best person to have around. He's the best person to meet. He loves my family just as much as I do. And obviously, when you look at him, you're like, well, like she's dating him, like she's married, she's engaged to him, and then like once you get to know him, he's just a big softie. I'm probably tougher than him.
Oh, well, I think you are. I think it's common knowledge. You're the professional. You got 3-1. I mean, I think what's he 6-0 in the amateurs in Thompson, but now is he heading pro soon?
Yeah, so he's 6-0 now. So he fought the Friday. That's why we didn't fly out on the Saturday off on my fight because he literally fought the week before me. Yeah, he's 6-0, all by finishes. Just got his first submission win. And yeah, so basically me and him are going on a holiday in 2 weeks, and then when we come back, he's going to turn pro. And I have actually quit my job as a nurse.
Oh.
My last day is in 2 weeks. Yeah, I know. And then yeah, it's full swing ahead, just concentrating on fighting and getting to this dream.
Are you like, shut up, you're an amateur, listen to me?
Sometimes, and then he calls me a little pipsqueak and tells me to go away. I'm like half his size. He's a big, strong, bricky built guy, and I'm this little girl in front of him.
Well, I wanted to sort of ask you about, you are the female standout when it comes to freestyle fight team, with obviously such a talent-driven team with your Volkanovskis, even Justin Van Heerden on the regional scenes, Jarrett Wilbraham. You got all the guys that come in, Craig Jones, like anyone in MMA knows freestyle. And as the female fighter, you are number one. Are you mixing it up with the boys much? Like, how does your training fold out under Joe Lopez?
I am the boys. I am with the boys. I'm never referred to as a girl. It's just like the boys, and then I just go because I'm the only girl that fights out of there. I'm the only girl that does like, the MMA training and stuff like that. So there's no differentiation between me and the boys. It's just like boys go. But yeah, it's been amazing like training with them, and yeah, like as you said, the caliber there is insane. Like every day we've got someone new in the gym in terms of like, we've got Jamie Malaki, then we'll have Blake Donnelly, then we'll have Josh Coolabah, then we'll have Craig Jones, and we've got Frank Hickman, like then we've got Brad Riddell, and then obviously the boys that are at the gym all the time. Like it's a crazy amount of caliber of talent at the gym. And yeah, it's like I love being surrounded by it every single day. And it really pushes me to go like, okay, I can do this, and I can follow this dream, and this can happen. Like yeah, honestly, it's great to have that support with the boys behind me all the time.
So how did you even get involved in freestyle and MMA in general? Because like we just mentioned, not only are you a female training with boys, you're training with the best boys that we have in the world.
I know. I remind myself every day. My eldest brother, so there's 6 of us. My eldest brother actually started fighting. There's 10 years between me and my eldest brother, and he actually started fighting, and he had an amateur fight. But as I said before, like I just watched the kind of like the discipline, like obviously the eating and the training and the no partying and the no social events. It's just like strict training. Like I kind of watched him do that, and get to that fight, and it was like I just love the discipline of the sport, and I love the way that your body like pushes through things that you wouldn't normally think. And then I watched my brother fight, and then from then on I was just training to be fit, and then I really got into I want to do this, and I could really succeed in this, and I became really I developed as a fighter, I guess. And then I'm moving to freestyle. I think it was a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. I'm not really sure. That whole game changed for me. I went from here to here. I would used to be a girl who wouldn't even shoot for a double. I used to be a girl who wouldn't engage in the grapple on the fence, and now I'm doing everything that an MMA artist should be able to do. Originally, it was just all about my striking, and now I'm actually comfortable in these areas and to put myself into these areas. And I've just leveled up heaps, and obviously all the fight opportunities. Like as an amateur last year, I fought 8 times in less than 6 or 8 times in 9 months or something. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was a huge amount of fights, and being able to get those fights consistently, obviously by having Joe in my corner and him having, being able to get me on these different kinds of promotions has helped me heaps, and it's helped my confidence heaps. And yeah, it just really leveled up, and I'm so grateful to be there, and I'm so grateful to continue my journey, quit my job and focus 100% into this, because I really am passionate about the sport, and I'm really excited about where I can get there, where I can get to.
And with the UAE fight, how did that even come about? Did they contact Joe? Did you go after them?
We were just really trying to push me to get another fight before me and Mitch left on our holiday. And then Joe just messaged around like no one will fight me on Hex. We've already tried that. Lisa doesn't want the rematch. We've already tried that.
Okay, wait, let me stop you there, because I do actually want to get onto that one just quickly. There is almost no one left for you to fight in Australia. You mentioned that there is a very quick fight. Now, I personally think either way, if Lisa won it or you won it, I wasn't going to be upset either way. Like I thought it was a really close fight. Personally, I went 3-2 to Lisa, but if you told me it was 3-2 to you, I'd wear that as well, right? Why can't we get this rematch?
She doesn't want it. We've already asked for it.
So do you think it's I've beaten you, like I've beaten you, I'm done type thing? I don't want it again. Is that what you're hearing?
I think it's I put her into dark waters, and I put her into positions maybe she wasn't so comfortable in, and she doesn't want to get to there again, and she doesn't want that chance of losing. So I don't know. If you score a fight on damage, I won that fight. If you score a fight on holding someone against the cage and not progressing to any kind of position or inflicting any damage, then I guess you won that fight. So it depends on what scorecards you want to look at. But yeah, don't get me wrong, it was a close fight. But it depends on how you're scoring the card. And if you're scoring on aggression, I won that fight. But it is what it is. You can't change it. You just gotta move on, I guess. And I'm on to bigger and better things while she's doing whatever the hell she's doing.
And because it is funny, because when I do watch a fight, I don't watch it like a fight fan. Like I don't watch it like, oh, great hit. I do actually watch it as if I was like how the judges are going to score it. And
Yeah.
it's funny you bring that up because it's been a while. I haven't rewatched it, so I apologize to Lisa's side of it as well. But like, yeah, if I see someone holding them up against the fence, I do go, judges are giving them this round. Like that's kind of how I end up going 3-2 in a lot of these fights, is because obviously Australian judges, you kind of know how they're going to judge a fight.
Even the scorecards from memory, was it 50-45? Like,
oh, yes.
not one round to me.
Yeah.
And
No.
then on top of that, it was 50-45 again.
Yep.
Not one round to me. And then we got one judge going my way, which was completely opposite. He went, well, I can't remember, it was 50-49 or 50-48 off the top of my head.
I remember exactly what it was.
How do you get such a difference between the scorecards?
Yeah, I believe it was 50-45 you, 50-45 Lisa, 48-47 Lisa. It was the most like
Thank you.
Most horrendous. I remember Justin Van Heerden, me and him were messaging your teammate back and forth, the eternal featherweight champ, and we were just laughing because we like could not figure out how there was such a weird swing in the judges.
Well, she'll only fight on Hex, so maybe that explains it. I don't know.
Well, look, with Lisa out the way, okay. So that fight, say that fight doesn't happen. Is there anyone else in Australia that you think is on your level? Anyone that interests you at all?
As a flyweight, or I fight at flyweight, or I can get to a catch weight. But in terms of flyweights, unless people want to accept a catch weight with me, there isn't any other flyweights. If people want to accept a catch weight, I already tried to Alicia Smith. She doesn't want the fight. At a catch weight, she wants to stick to her normal 52, which is fine, fair enough. Got nothing against her. There's Jacinta. She's a strawweight. She wants to strawweight. That's all we've got. Like in terms of fighting and up there, it's Lisa or it's Alicia, but they're both strawweights, and I don't think there's any other flyweights off the top of my head that I could like. We've tried to look, and like I don't think there's any other flyweights. You know, Chelsea Hackett, she's been coming down and training with us, but she's fighting on PFL, and I guess we're training partners now. It'd be kind of weird to fight your mate. So I don't know. Like I honestly can't. Like, I don't know if you can think of anyone, but off the top of my head, I really can't think of any other girls within Australia for me to fight who are pro now.
No, and not even Jacinta. I'm pretty sure she signed.
She just got signed. Yeah, Octagon. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like, and she's not even in my weight division. She's 52. Yeah. Like, there's no flyweights, and there's not many people who were happy to go to a catch weight. So it's just kind of I'm stuck in this in between.
So what are you signed with UAE? Was that just one fight? What's the deal?
It was just a one fight deal. Hopefully they do give me a multi deal. If not, we've got other avenues we're gonna reach out to anyway. But at the moment, like as I said, like I wanted to get this fight in. I want to go on this holiday with Mitch, come back. He's gonna turn pro. And then as I said, I've quit my job, and it's just going to be full-time fighting and committing to that. And then hopefully I'm happy to fight when we get back. I'm happy to fight 3 times before the year, 4 times before the year. Like I'm someone who would take on an opportunity, because it's very rare for a girl to get a matchup. Like in terms of like, there's not many girls. It's a very niche kind of market. So if I get an opportunity to fight someone, I'm not going to say no.
A couple more questions before I let you go. After you come back from your holiday, when are you expecting to get back in there? I know that sometimes it's not always up to you. It's when you can get fights, but when would you like to be back in the cage?
I'd like to be back in the cage pretty quickly. I get back in August. July, end of July. And I'd like to have a pretty quick turnaround. I don't plan to be going overseas and going crazy and doing this and doing that and getting heaps fat and putting on 10 kilos. Me and my partner are talking about it. We're still going to be training. We're going to take pads over. We're going to stay fit. That's kind of us. But I'd like to get in, within, if Joe will let me, within 6 to 8 weeks of coming back, I'd be pretty happy to jump in there. As long as I'm fit and healthy, I don't see why not.
Awesome. And who's the toughest at freestyle?
What do you mean? At hitting me in the face or,
I want you
in general?
Who do you just think, who is just the toughest training partner that you have to go with? Who goes the hardest with you? Who does the most damage to you out of all the boys?
It's not even the most damage. It's someone who, it's literally just the person who, no matter how crap you're going, if it's the last week and it's your last fight or it's your last meat grinder, they're still going to push you to your pace. And that will be Colby. It's like I'm cutting weight. I'm 55 kilos. I'm nothing. And Colby is just relentless. He's picking me up. He's throwing me. He's pushing me again. He's smacking me like a smart ass. Like he's relentless with it. And I'm just like, why is he my partner right now? Like it's, like we get ready to do the spiders and stuff like that. And Colby's just standing there getting ready for me, obviously because he's a smaller boy. And I'm just like, oh no, like not this bloke. You know, then I get Jarrett and he's a bit more friendlier, you know, he's like, okay, Amina's dying, let's give her a little bit of slack. And then it's like, all right, no, I'm gonna smash you. Like, yeah, no, they're all good to train with. They all kill me. Matty Gibson probably punches me in the face the most. He's crazy. He's like me. He's a flyweight as well. But yeah, Colby's definitely the one to just keep pushing and keep grinding on you until you get it right.
Oh, I love it. Look, before I let you go, I just want to ask you one thing. Ask everyone this, but after it's all said and done, how does Amena Hadaya want to be remembered in mixed martial arts?
I want to be remembered as as a female fighter who, didn't really shy away from any opportunities. I don't want to be this. I don't want to be like, I don't want to be remembered for the way that I'm looking and the way that I'm, got my whatever it is out, or, I don't want to be remembered for, swearing and losing my shit and creating a storm and stuff like that. I just want to be remembered for the fighter that I am, not for anything else, for the discipline that I have. Like, I got off a plane this morning. I got off a plane yesterday morning at 6 a.m. Me and my partner at the gym 4:30 this morning. Like, I like sticking to routine, and I like to be remembered for my discipline and the attitude I had towards the sport.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time. It's an honor to watch your fights and watch you grow, and of course go to war in the best gym in Australia, if not the world. So we can't wait to see what's in store. But thank you so much and best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you.